The Timberwolves complete the sweep. The Sun season ends with a first-round sweep.
And let the Kevin Durant bashing begin. Some of it is fair, and then there are some that is just straight
blasphemous.
Like questioning if he's one of the top 20 greatest players of all time. Really? Are we seriously gonna go that hard on a player who's in his 16th season and suffered an Achilles tear after the age of 30? I guess we have totally forgotten what this dude accomplished in the 2010 decade. That 10-year run was as good as any non-top 5 player of all time. We're talking 2 titles and 4 finals appearances, 2 finals MVPs, 1 regular season MVP, and 4 scoring titles. That resume alone is top 20 worthy, let alone all the other records he has broken. The issue is the same as always. Many people claim that if he never went to Golden State, he wouldn't have won a title, that the Warriors saved his legacy. My issue with that has always been the same, is that most people are never consistent with the criticisms they give to the players. They take away points for one player, but completely disregard the same issue with other players. The problem could be that they're not familiar with the history of the NBA. The other problem could be that they just hate Kevin Durant that much. And the other, of course, is to get clicks. But that's never the case here. For me, I don't put that much weight on his playoff failures since the start of the 2020 decade for 2 reasons. The first one is that insane 10-year run from the 2009/10 season through 2018/19 that we just talked about. The other is that I believe he's in the same tier as 2 players who are highly respected by all basketball historians. And these players are usually ranked among the top 15 all time, as I do. Those 2 players are Jerry West and Oscar Robertson. We'll get to the statistical case in a moment, but just think about this. The narrative that is out there for Kevin Durant right now is exactly the same for those 2 players. If Wilt Chamberlain never joined the Los Angeles Lakers, Jerry West would have never won a title. Wasn't he saved by arguably the most dominant big man ever? Now what about Oscar Robertson? If he never joined forces with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, not only would he have 0 titles, but he would have 0 finals appearances. Wasn't he saved by the greatest center in NBA history? If those 2 players get a pass for that, then why can't Kevin Durant get one? It makes no sense to me. I believe they were the victim of the same thing. Jerry West and Oscar Robertson could never win a title in the 60s because they were playing at the same time as Bill Russell. The Celtics were built perfectly around him, and if your team didn't have Wilt Chamberlain, then you had no chance of beating him in a 7-game series. In Kevin Durant's case, his prime coincided with LeBron James. He is widely considered as either the first or second greatest player ever. Then he had to battle in the tough Western Conference and face historically great teams such as the 2014 Spurs and the 2016 Warriors. That's not even considering that the Thunder were without Russell Westbrook in the 2013 playoffs and without Durant in 2015. Sometimes it's all about timing, and those 3 players didn't have that going for them. Although they were amazing individual players, the competition that they faced was even more superior. Giving Oscar Robertson and Jerry West a pass would make sense if they were that much greater individually, but the numbers say that there isn't that much of a difference. Let's look at their career averages. This is fair because West and Oscar both played for 14 seasons. Durant is already at 16. So far, KD's career averages are 26.7 points, 6.9 rebounds, and 4.3 assists per game. Jerry West has 27 points, 5.8 rebounds, and 6.7 assists per game. Oscar Robertson has 25.7 points, 7.5 rebounds, and 9.5 assists per game. The numbers are similar for both points and rebounds. Now let's consider the major individual achievements. Durant and Oscar both only won the MVP award once. Jerry West never won the MVP. Oscar Robertson never won a Finals MVP, while Jerry only won it once. Durant has 14 All-Star appearances, while Oscar and Jerry have 12 each. Jerry has 12 All-NBA appearances, Oscar has 11, and Durant will soon have 11 as well. Is it me, or are their individual achievements nearly identical? So ask this question again. What is the difference between Kevin Durant, Jerry West, and Oscar Robertson? Because I can't seem to find one that would separate them by that much. If you don't like that Kevin Durant led the OKC Thunder to the team he lost against after being up 3-1, the same team that went 73-9 in the regular season, then that's fine. I wasn't happy when he made that move either. But Jerry West already had Elgin Baylor, and the player who joined him won the last 3 MVP awards. Oscar Robertson joined the player who would end up winning 3 MVPs between 1971 through 1974. All 3 of them received a lot of help, which allowed them to win a championship. But that doesn't mean that they weren't legendary players. That's exactly what Kevin Durant is. Just because he is failing in season 16 at the age of 35 is completely normal. 99% of all players cannot lead their team to a championship after turning 35 years old. The only exception is LeBron James. We cannot hold people to his standard. What he accomplished is one of a kind and is unique to his greatness. We cannot normalize what he has done. If you are a team's primary scorer, everyone fails at the stage that Durant is in, especially with the major injuries that he's experienced. I'm not going to overreact and say that his all-time ranking needs to drop. I never thought he was a top 10 player, but the top 15 seems very reasonable to me. And that's exactly where I have him, right above Jerry West and Oscar Robertson. But that's just what I think. Do you think that the media is being fair to Kevin Durant right now? Where do you have him ranked in your all-time players list? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching.